today's topic, let us will go for the diagastric triangle. To understand this diagastric triangle, once again you have to go to the anterior triangle of a neck. So that anterior triangle of a neck, it will be going to get appear like this. This is what the lower border of the body of the mandible. This will be the anterior median plane, which will be starting from the water that of the symphysis mentally to the water that of the suprasternal notch. This is the styloid process. This is the stylomastoid foramina. This is what the mastoid process. This is the occipital bone. So this will be the what? A posterior limit for the lateral aspect of the neck region. So this becomes a what? That of the clavicle. So this will be the sternocleidomastoid. This is the hyoid bone. This is the what? That of the thyroid cartilage. This is what? The hyoid. This becomes entirely thyroid cartilage. Okay, this is the thyroid cartilage. Now you have got, this is the anterior belly of the diagastric. So this will be the what? Stylohyoideus, and this thing the posterior belly of the diagastric. So to make you to get into the picture, so it will be there like this, and this is the stylohyoideus. Hyoideus. This is the posterior belly of diagastric. So this one will be the anterior belly of diagastric. So this one, what we have drawn, this is partially you will be going to get the anterolateral view of lateral aspect of the neck in the anterior triangle. So this what we get, this is another anterolateral view of lateral aspect of the neck region of the other side. So now this triangle will be the third, and this triangle will become the fourth triangle. Fourth triangle is what is said to be as another triangle. That triangle is submental or MAH00841 triangle. Now so with this, now this is the third. Now other two yesterday we had finished. So now coming to the what that of the diagastric triangle. Diagastric triangle is a triangle, the one which is present, in the anterior triangle of a neck on the lateral aspect of the neck region or the cervical region. This diagastric triangle, it is called as a diagastric because it is present in between the two bellies of the diagastricus, hence the name. Another you can say synonymous name for that, it is also called as submandibular gland. Submandibular triangle, because it is a main content of that is the what that of the submandibular gland. Hence it is called as the submandibular triangle. Then this triangle which is there, it will be having a what that of the base. This is the base. Then you will be going to have the what that of the apex. Then you have got the boundaries or the borders. Now those borders are two. Now those two borders you will see. Then you have got the roof. Roof is also called as superficially. Superficially. Then the floor, which is termed as deeply. So these are the things that what you should know. After that, you should know the content. Why that triangle is meant for. Now let us go to the apex. Apex of the what that of the diagastric triangle is the one which will be directing downwards and towards a bit medially, and it is there at the level of the what that of the you can say upper lateral part of the you can say hyoid bone, where the meeting of anterior belly of the diagastric and the what that of the posterior belly of the diagastric. I mean to say the posterior belly of the diagastric, as it approaches to the what that of the upper lateral part of that of the you can say hyoid bone, it will be going to run in the what that of the you can say one a small that is called as the what trochlea like, which is a small condensation of the what T fasciae, which allows the what that of the you can say posterior belly of the diagastric to turn it itself into a tendinous mass, and then it will be going to become once again the fleshy and gives rise to the what that of the anterior belly of the diagastric. So this is called as the apex of the diagastric triangle or the submandibular triangle. Now this you can say apex is the thing here. So apex is directing downwards and towards medially, very close to the upper border of that of the you can say hyoid bone. Now you have got the base. The base is this. Now the base of the what that of the diagastric triangle is the one which will be directing upwards and little bit towards the laterally. And this you can say the base is mainly formed by lower border of the body of the mandible and a line drawn from the what angle of the mandible to the what that of the first styloid processor and the styloid foramina and the what supramastoid crust. Then it will be also related to the what that of the superior nuchal line. So this will be the what the base. The base is much more broader than the what any other triangles in the what anterior triangle of a neck. So this is what the base. Now after that base you will be going to have the two borders. Now those two borders now I will be going to mention. Now this one is called as a lower anterior border. So infro anterior or antro inferior border. So below and in front it is limited by the anterior belly of diagastricus. Then you have got the one more boundary that is called as a what upper posterior boundary. Upper posterior boundaries, postero-superior boundary, or the limit boundary, or the limit, or rather you can say it as a border, is formed by the what two muscles successively. One is called as what posterior belly of the diagastricus, that goes without posterior belly, there will be about one muscle which will be said to be as the one of the suprahyoid muscle series. Now, so that will be the stylohyoids. So these are the borders of the that of the digastric triangle. Now, so you will be going to have the anterior-inferior border and the posterior-superior borders. So like that you will be going to have the borders. Now you will be going to have the roof. Roof, I mean to say, it will be the nothing but superficially. Superficially it is related to the skin, and usually the skin will be there, superficial fascia will be there, platysma will be there. Platysma, it is one of the superficial most muscle of the neck. Then you have got the deep fascia, cutaneous nerves, cutaneous vessels. Vessels, when we have come across, you have got the cutaneous artery, cutaneous veins, and the cutaneous lymph vessels, as well as the node, superficial. Now this will be the roof of the digastric triangle. Then you have got the floor. The floor of the that of the digastric triangle, mainly you will be going to get like this. One will be like this way, it will be there entirely. So this thing already it has been talked. So this will be the mylohyoideus. Mylohyoideus is the roof. Mylohyoideus is the one muscle. Then you have got one more muscle which will be there all the way. It will be coming from tongue going to the that of the hyoid. So this green color. So this will be the hyoglossus. Hyoglossus. Now hyoglossus, the meaning from the hyoid, it will be going to the tongue. So that is called hyoglossus. Now those two muscles will be going to form the that of the floor, along with the fascia covering these muscles, mylohyoideus fascia and the hyoglossus fascia. Definitely they will be there with that. Now after having had all these things, now the question comes, why this triangle is present? Because in that triangle is a space, So in that space you have got the many, you can say contents are present. So content of digastric triangle. So what are those? Number one, in that you will be having the anterior lobe of submandibular gland. This is the first one. Then you have got a facial artery, facial vein. So these are the. Then you will be going to get the submandibular artery, submandibular vein, submandibular group of lymph vessels and the nodes. Sixth, lower part of parotid gland, external carotid artery, then internal carotid artery, then you have got, this is the ninth, styloglossus muscle, I mean to say, this styloglossus which will be going to form one of the boundary, that is the upper posterior boundary of this triangle, as because it is present deep to the posterior belly of the digastricus, so it becomes as a one of the content. Like manner, when you will be dealing about the femoral triangle, medial boundary of the water, that of the femoral triangle, is formed by the water, that of the medial fibers of that of the adductor, medial fibers of medial, you can say boundary of, or medial fibers of that of the, you can say adductor longus, is formed by the water, or it gives the way for the formation of the medial boundary of that of the femoral triangle. So thereby it is included in the triangle. It is one of the content. So like that manner. So this is stylo. What that you can say glossus. Styloglossus, which will be there, one of the content. So this will be the thing. Now you will be going to have these two, you can say muscles. One is the stylohyoideus. So the question is what? Stylohyoideus is the one which muscle will be going to form the water boundary, but along with the water, that of the posterior belly of the water, that of the digastricus. But along with that, the muscle which will be originating deep to the water, that of the stylohyoideus, which is the medial portion of that of the, you can say, and the water, little lateral part of that of the, you can say, styloid process. There is a muscle, that muscle which will be coming from styloid and going to the water tank. That becomes as a one of the content, but not stylohyoideus. Stylohyoideus is a muscle which will be taking origin from the lateral aspect of that of the styloid process, which will be there deep to the posterior belly of the digastricus. So that mistake one should not. Stylohyoideus going to the water hyoid, but coming to the water, that of the styloglossus, from the styloid it goes to the tongue. That becomes as a content. Then you have got one more content from the same, from the styloid process only, that is called the stylopharynges. Stylopharynges. So this stylopharynges becomes as a what? One of the, you can say, content of the water digastric triangle. It will be taking origin from the water once again styloid process. So styloid variety of the muscles, what will be there? They are the what? One is stylohyoideus, styloglossus, stylopharynges. Now these all will be going to become as a content, exception being that of the stylohyoideus, which will be going to form the water, one of them boundary for the water, that of the upper posterior limit of the digastric. So this will be the water stylopharynges. Then you have got the water eleventh. Now that eleventh is the water ninth cranial nerve. So ninth cranial nerve is called as a water glossopharyngeal. Glossopharyngeal. That becomes a content. Then internal jugular vein. So that will be the what? Another content. Then 10th cranial nerve, that is the vagus. Then you have got, this will be the what? 10th cranial. Now you have got lymph vessels and the lymph nodes, which are present in the digastric triangle, both varieties, superficial and deep. So they are called as a submandibular group of lymph nodes, including parotid group. So these are the contents of the what? Digastric triangle. So you have to have this thing in the mind when you will be dealing about the posterior, digastric triangle. Now, after having had this, now you have to go to the one more triangle. That triangle is called as the MAH00841. Triangle. Now the MAH00841 triangle, it can be shown like this here. This triangle. So it will be there like this. part of the sternum. So this is the anterior median plane. This has been already shown here, but we have to have once again. So this becomes a hyoid bone here. This is a hyoid. So this will be the posterior belly of the digastric with that stylohyoid deeply. So this will be the what? Anterior belly of the digastric of one side. So this will be the anterior belly of the water digastric of the other side. So this is where you can say stylohyoid. This is your posterior belly of the digastric. So this triangle what you get is called as a MAH00841 triangle, or it is also called as submental triangle. MAH00841 triangle or submental triangle, it is the triangle present in the anterior triangle of a neck. Now this triangle is present even in general on the lateral aspect of the neck region. The MAH00841 triangle, which is present in the anterior triangle of a neck in particular and in general in the lateral aspect of the neck region. This MAH00841 triangle is called as MAH00841 triangle because the roof of this triangle is mainly formed by the MAH00841. Hence the name. And it is called as a submental triangle because it is present just, you can say, very close behind and more below to the symphysis menti. That is also called as a menton in the craniometric language for the mandible. Hence it is called as a submental triangle. And even this triangle may be called as another name for this suprahyoid triangle because it is present just above the water, that is the hyoid bone. So you can call it as like that. So these are the things what you will be getting. Then thereby there will be one more muscle, one more triangle will be there. Yesterday you have got the muscular triangle which will be there just below the hyoid. That may be going to call it as infrahyoid triangle. Older versions, older names you will be getting. Now you will be going to have the apex of the MAH00841 triangle. Apex of the that is the MAH00841 triangle. It is directing, you can say, forwards, just very close behind the posterior part of symphysis menti. So this is what the apex. The apex is formed by the union of anterior belly of the digastric of one side to the anterior belly of the other side. So that will be the apex. Now the base, when you have taken the base of the that of the, you can say, submental or the MAH00841 triangle is directing straightway, you can say, more back and more down. So backwards and downwards it is. It is formed by the upper border of hyoid bone. So this will be the base. Now the question comes, roof and floor. So the roof, when you have taken, by and large, when you take a roof is already, it is superiorly. The roof of the water, that of the cancer mylohyoids, directing which is mainly formed by mylohyoideus muscle. So this may be said to be as deep. So roof is deeply. Rather you can say it is deeply related to that. Now you have got the water floor. Once you have taken as a floor in this case, in an anatomical language, when you will be talking, it will be the water inferior. Because roof is deeply or it is superiorly. So floor will be the water inferiorly. Floor is also said to be as which is inferiorly, that may be taken as a water superficially. There you will be going to have a skin, superficial fascia, the fascia, cutaneous nerves, cutaneous vessels, and the water arteries, veins, lymph vessels of submental region. Now what are the contents of, along with this floor or inferiorly or superficially, you will be having a cartilage. Now you will be going to have the what that where you can say contents. The content of this mylohyoid, only you will be having a what few. Now those are the what is said to be as 1 to 2 submental group of lymph vessels and the nodes. This is first. Second, small mylohyoid veins, then mylohyoid arteries, mylohyoid nerve, then you will be going to have the third. Those are the what is said to be as anterior jugular vein. So these are the content of the what mylohyoid. So mylohyoid content 1 to 2 submental group of lymph nodes and lymph vessels, small mylohyoid veins, mylohyoid arteries, mylohyoid nerve. Then you will be having the what anterior jugular vein. So these are the content, nothing more than that. So now in the anterior triangle, when you have taken, the most important thing you have to have, yesterday talk, this will be the thing, carotid triangle and the what muscular triangle. Muscular triangle is important for 3 months. Carotid triangle is important for 5 months. Diagastric triangle is important for 5 months, just which you have dealt today. And mylohyoid triangle is important for this thing or that thing, 3 months. This 3 months. But the entire, you can say, anterior triangle of neck, which is including all these 4 triangles, important for 10 months. 10 months. So this is what you should know. The same thing happens for, this is what the occipital triangle, this is what the subclavian triangle. Occipital triangle is important for 5 marks. Subclavian triangle is important for 5 marks. But the posterior triangle of the neck, which includes these both, that is important for the what? 10 marks. Posterior. 10 marks. So you should know about. So whatever all the things now you have got. So not only for examination purpose but also for the what practical purpose. If any infections of the what neck, that will be there. Contents which are there, they are the main important role to play to get the what? Some diseases, either the vascular or the what glandular. So all things will be there. And as well as the what some organs, what you will be getting. Larynx, hyoid bones and other things, and the vessels are also there. So this is important what one must know about. Now after having had this, there will be a what, one more small triangle. Now that small triangle, I will take this part out entirely and then we will have that also in one spot. So where you can understand the thing. So we will go for that now. So that thing is, now I will be the entirely a different topic, but it is included in the what? Triangles. So this is what? The occipital bone. This is what the external occipital protuberance. This is what? The posterior median plane. Posterior median plane. So this will be your lobe of the ear. This is the menstrual process. Lobe of the ear. This will be the menstrual process. So this is the back part of the neck, where you will be getting. Now you will be having, there is a one small triangle. So this is called as superior obliquus capitis. This is called as inferior obliquus capitis. Then here you have got two. This is one, and you have got this. So this muscle, rectus capitis posterior major, and this thing, I mean to say this, is minor. Along with this, few are there which I can show with this. These are the, this is semi splenius capitis. This is splenius capitis. This is longissimus capitis. Longissimus capitis. Okay. So these are the things. Now this triangle, what you see is here. This one. which is also important. Suboccipital triangle is a triangle present just below the occipital bone on either side of the that of the you can say posterior median plane, one on either side. Now this suboccipital triangle is so called because it is present below the that of the occipital bone. Now above and laterally, above and laterally, above and laterally, limited by superior obliquus capitis. Superior obliquus capitis. You must below and laterally. Below and laterally. Limited by inferior obliquus capitis. Now medially, two muscles, this is medial, overlap, this and this. Rectus capitis posterior major and rectus capitis posterior minor. Major, minor. So major will be earlier, then superficially, minor will be deep. So this is what medial. So medially what it is there, it is the base. So base is directing medially, and it is formed by rectus capitis posterior major, rectus capitis posterior minor, which is medially. Medial one is said to be as a base for this suboccipital triangle. This is the base. Now you may be asking, where is the apex? Apex is directing laterally, and it is formed by the union of upper lateral boundary and the below lateral boundary, which is a union of superior obliquus capitis and the inferior obliquus capitis. Now you have got the superficially, or it may be said to be as a roof. Roof is formed by the skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia, tad of fat, which is abundant, and the area lattice. Apart from that, the muscles. Those are shown here with the green. Semi-splenous capitis, splenous capitis, and longissimus capitis. These are all the part of the that of the erector spinae. Okay, this will be the roof. Now what must be the floor? Floor is nothing but deeply. Deeply it is related to posterior arc of atlas or first cervical vertebrae, that is the floor. Second, posterior part of atlantum, occipital membrane. So these are the two things which forms the floor. Now what are the content? The content of first part of vertebral vein, then this is the first, this will be the second, third will be the first cervical spinal nerve, that may be said to be as a sub-occipital nerve. So these are the content of this suboccipital triangle. Now this suboccipital triangle, other contents are also there. Now that content would be, I will be writing fourth, suboccipital group of lymph vessels, superficial and deep. Now this suboccipital triangle is very much important when you will be going to deal with the neurological patients, especially in order to rule out the any, you can say, abnormal constituents in the CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. Because cerebrospinal fluid is the one of the most important thing to investigate if any neurological or neuropathological cases, including tubercular diseases of the brain, syphilitic diseases of the brains, or any of the advanced cases of the tumors in the brain. Not only that, the covering of a brain meningitis, either it may be the tubercular or it may be the syphilitic. To diagnose the origin, you will be going to take the water, that of the remnant which will be there, all the way metastasis will be going to flow through and through the cerebrospinal fluid. So in order to examine the cerebrospinal fluid, you have to put the needle in the this suboccipital triangle, slowly piercing the superficially, that is the root entire, and then going to the in the suboccipital triangle without damaging the contents. Third part of the vertebral artery, first part of the vertebral vein and the nerve. You have to pierce the atlanto-occipital membrane, that is the floor, and you have to take the cerebrospinal fluid and send it for the examination, that is physical, chemical, as well as the histopathological. So this triangle is very much important. It appears very small, but it is important. Okay, with this, the triangles of the neck are over. Now the question, how many triangles are there in the neck? Main two, anterior and posterior. And one more triangle below the occipital bone. So this is. But in the anterior triangle you have a fourth. Muscular triangle, carotid triangle, diagastric triangle, MAH00841 triangle. Then in the occipital you have got in the posterior you have got the two. One is the occipital triangle and another is the subclavian triangle. So these four, these two, 6, and that 7. So these 7 triangles are important. Suboccipital triangle is important for 3 marks.